All right, we are now live. Okay, so we're now live on Twitch and Twitter. Shout out to, all that stuff. Well, welcome everybody to a surprise episode of the Cool Down Den. I'm your host, Stu. We have the lovely Miss CrissyDubz in the chat, on the channel today. Chrissy.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah,
Hi,
yeah. So
everybody.
me and Chrissy was literally just in Discord, top talking, chopping it up. And I said I need her on the podcast. And she said, "Shit, I ain't do nothing right now. What you want to talk about?" No, that's not exactly what happened, but basically what happened. So we were talking about 50-50 relationships, kind of like a prelude to next week's episode, which y'all gonna know about. Make sure y'all stay tuned to tomorrow's episode to know what next week's episode is gonna be. You gotta stick around. So. But so Chris, we was talking about 50-50 relationships. We was talking about how you feel about them. So go ahead, continue what you were saying about it, and then we'll restart from there.
So the conversation came about because we were just talking about relationships in general. We started talking about a topic that's going to come up soon for the podcast, but it was a perfect segue, and it was about dating while broke,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of led to the conversation about 50-50. And I feel really strongly about this topic because I think people are confused. So I kind of want to go back to the beginning of why 50-50 relationships even became a thing from the beginning. So
Okay.
we used to live in a society where the man could afford to take care of the family.
Right.
The
Right.
man
Right.
was the only one. Hi, Chris. How are you? The man was the only one that went to work,
Mm-hmm.
and society the economy was such that he could afford it. So the women stayed home and took care of the home and the children and the husband. So as the economy continued to progress, the wealth gap increased exponentially, but the earning gap did not. Hi, sugar. How are you? So women were forced to start working. Now, there's also women's suffrage. We wanted equal rights and things of that matter. But it went from us living in a society where one person in the household could actually be the one to work to now we have to work. So there are men who were brought up under the ideology that as a man, you work hard to take care of your family. That is your job. That is your purpose in life. And her purpose is to carry on your legacy. But there are other men who grew up under single mothers and absent fathers who watched their mother go to work. They
Mm-hmm.
watched her struggle. So to them, they're like, no, you should be contributing to this household too. My mom worked. You can too. The important part, thank you, Sugar, about this entire conversation is that everything is about alignment. And I think a lot of people miss the mark when it comes to the importance of being aligned.
Exactly.
For me, I am going to align with a man who wants to provide for me. However, I'm not going to allow my man to struggle.
Now
There's
that's the
never
catch.
going to
Yep, that's
be a
that's the catch right
time
there.
where I'm going to watch my man break his back to be able to give me a certain type of life, and I'm going to be okay with that. That is such an unhinged concept to me. Now, if he is working in a space where he can comfortably afford to retire me, then I am happily going to live in that softness. But also, make no mistake in understanding that I have degrees, I have experience. We were just
Mm-hmm.
talking about this. I have 2 retirement accounts. I have passive income coming in. Hi.com. So that if anything were to ever happen, I can fill in where my man is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a partner. I may stay home and be soft, but I'm also pouring into him. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
making
Right.
sure that
Right.
he understands his value to the world. Do you want to start this business, baby? Okay, let me be your secretary. Let me do all of those things so that you can get it started. You know what I mean? Like that to
Mm-mm.
me is
Preach.
the best type of partner. But I'm also okay with someone else wanting a 50-50 relationship. What they want for them in their life does not impact me, and I feel like a lot of this discourse would come to an end if everyone would just allow everyone to find the person that aligns with what they want. There are women who are 100% okay with 50-50. When I got married in my 20s, 50-50 was fine to me. Yes, let's do 50-50. In fact, once I got to the point where I was making more money, we were no longer 50-50.
Mhm.
I was putting in more because I made more, and that worked for our relationship. I never looked at my ex-husband as less of a man for it. I never thought that he wasn't a great provider for it because quiet is kept. I might have had the money, but he had the credit. He had the financial discipline. He had the foresight. He had all of the things that you need when you make a lot of money that I didn't have. I was ready to just spend it all. .com, how are you doing?
And
Thanks for
but
coming
I mean,
in.
yeah, you gotta have that balance. I wanna say something real quick. Let me step in real quick
Sure.
because like 50-50 is very important at the same time, but it's not like you said. I think when a lot of people hear 50-50, they think about all the stereotypes that they hear on social media, they hear about all these different things. And so I was saying before, I don't for me, at least for me, 50-50 is never really true 50-50. If a woman's with me, she's never going it's never going to be 50-50, right? It's more going to be like more 75-25. Like you said, it goes with alignment, right? I want my woman to be taken care of. I'm a natural spoiler, which is why I'm not in a relationship right now, because I can't afford to spoil no damn body. I can't spoil my damn self. So that's why I'm not in a relationship right now. But because I can do what I want to do, which is spoil my woman, right? But on the flip side of that, also, I think a lot of times people are scared or they don't like the thing because they're afraid of what may happen when they give that type of vulnerability, right? You're going to be vulnerable 50-50 because that means some things you have control over, some things you don't. Now, first and foremost, you should never be in a point, like you said, Chrissy, to where you are that vulnerable, where you don't have a backup plan, where you're relying too much on a man or a woman for whatever, right? So you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet. 50-50 really shouldn't be a thing. It should be more of like 100-100. You got your stuff, I got my stuff. Now let's bring our stuff together to be to build up to make one humongous kingdom with us at the forefront, right? So like when you was talking about when you was talking about, yeah, hey, baby, you got this dream. I'm gonna be the secretary while you do your dream. I was like, hey, do that. So that's what I'm talking about. I like that. But so that's just me. That's just me. So I mean, I'm still a little dreamer sometimes, but yeah,
But but that's the thing, like, it's like we both said, it's all about alignment.
right.
And another thing is when we talk to people about dating outside of their tax or their bracket, often it's not just about money. I had to humble a gentleman earlier today because he was attempting to court me and he's not in a position to court me. It's not just about that what you can provide for someone financially, but what can you do for me mentally? What can you do for me
Mhm.
emotionally? I'm recovering from so many different types of trauma. I'm in or I was about to say daycare because I was reading what T said. I'm in therapy. I'm doing all of these things to try to be a whole human, but you aren't willing to do those things for yourself.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I am out of your bracket when it comes to emotional intellect and self-awareness and introspection. And he couldn't for the life of him understand what I was talking about. We are not aligned, and that is okay. So I guess the word for today was is definitely alignment because once
Alignment,
you find
100%.
someone who they may not even be in the same place, but their
Mhm.
intention is to get to the same place and they're active in their intention, then that's what's really important because you're showing me that you genuinely care about where I am, but you also care about where you are. And that's just as important to me.
Just as
Taking care of
important.
me and not taking care of yourself is a red flag. 0 stars. Do not recommend. Do not pass go and collect $200. I refuse to be with a person who does not take care of themselves because eventually that toxicity has to go somewhere. It doesn't stay within that person. It spills over into other areas of their life, and I don't want to be with a neglectful partner because I'm not a neglectful partner. Chat, how y'all feeling? How's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate y'all. So, I'm definitely interested in meeting people who are willing to look at themselves and say, "Hey, this is why I'm single," or this is why my last relationship didn't work. And this is what I'm doing to improve it. It's not just about knowing, but being willing to make changes. And if you're not willing to change it, then are you really ready to be dating? Are you ready to be out there and playing with people? Because you know what? I'm sorry, but people's feelings are so important. So you can't be out here playing with folks. Some people are ready for marriage today. If you know that you're not ready for that, please don't align yourself with someone that you know is ready to have a family. Stop playing with people for dates because that in itself is extremely trifling. What's up, Fresh? How you doing? Happy Saturday? How's your Saturday going? And I so appreciate you stopping in. Like you dead ass could have been anywhere else in the world, but you clicked on my stream, so I appreciate that. It was super impromptu. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I was not supposed to be streaming today. Hey Tay, how you doing? Welcome in. I was just in Discord having a conversation with my friend who does podcasting. Big Stu Gaming, he just commented above, so if y'all could drop him a follow, I'd appreciate that. But we were just talking about 50-50 relationships, and it's something I'm really passionate about because a lot of people like to judge. Oh, you're a gold digger, you want someone to take care of you, or oh, you're not a good man because you want a woman to go 50-50. No, if everybody just picks the person that wants the same thing as them, if we all find a way to just end up with someone who has the same mindset, we'll all be happy. I have gone from being a 50-50 woman to, and I wanna be very careful when I choose my words because it's not that I'm not willing to go 50-50. I'm just not willing to struggle with anybody anymore. And most of you know I'm 36, so my struggle days are they're long gone. I worked really hard to establish myself on my own. So my mortgage, I pay on my own. My bills, I pay on my own. Tay, thanks for that follow. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all follow Tay. Tay does stream. T does stream. Fresh, do you stream? I'm not sure. You know, my Call of Duty fam, we got to stick together. But yeah, I made sure that financially I could take care of myself. Hi, son, welcome in. And do the things that I need to do for me so that when I find a partner, I am not trying to find a partner that is struggling. I'm established. I want a partner that's established and in a certain bracket of established too, like emotional, physical, like physical health, that's important to me. That's a non-negotiable for me. I need you to take care of your body. I need you to be aware of what you're putting into your body because it's the only one that we get. Does that mean I'm super healthy and no. We all live, right? We all need to live and be happy. But I like for the good choices to outweigh the poor choices, if that makes sense. So what about y'all? How do y'all feel about 50-50 or a man taking care of everything? How were you brought up and what do you believe in? Is what you were taught growing up what you believe today? This is a judgment-free zone, but I really want to hear from you guys in the chat. Son, how you feeling today? Are you having a good day? Has the world been kind to you? And while y'all are also here, y'all know every time I stream, I do a mental health check-in. How is everybody mentally? I will be completely transparent. The last month, I've been so depressed. That's why y'all haven't heard from me on Twitch or anything like that. Like, I've been crying myself to sleep depressed. It's been a very rough time for so many different reasons. I'm deconstructing everything that I understood my life to be. I chose to do things a certain way, like get married, have kids, build my career, like all of these things in a certain order, and it my life has just not panned out in the way that I expected it to. Does that mean I don't have a great life? No, I live a blessed life. But there are people in my life and there are what's the word I'm looking for? There's an understanding of what I thought my life would be, and it's not that. So I'm tearing all of these preconceived notions down so that I can see my life clearly for what it is, see the beauty in it and the small things and just be grateful in that. It's taking a lot. It's taken a lot from me. Oh, you been
Okay,
busy,
Jesus
son?
Christ,
Welcome
man.
back, Stu.
Man, my
Hi,
internet is
Fuzzy
going.
Wuzzy.
Thank you so much for just. I heard you though. I was still, but man, let me tell you, my internet can get it. My internet is not 50-50 at all. But no, I've been hearing you, Chris. I've been hearing you talk about a lot of good things, and yeah, I heard you say like it is a difference of being able to be emotionally intelligent to take care of your health. Basically, what you're saying, Chris, is you want a man who's gonna be who is not afraid to lead or take care of things in other ways. Financial is not always the go-to for you. It's more of, can you be a man without the money?
You're asking me if you can be a man without the money?
Yeah, like that's what you want. You want a man who could be a man without the money. Like the money is just, the money is just an add-on. Like it's cool, but can you lead me spiritually? Can you lead me physically? Can
Right,
you lead me
exactly.
right? Okay, okay, yeah, I'm with it. I'm with that. I think that's 100% how it should be. Cause at the end of the day, money will go, looks will fade.
Exactly. What else
But
do we have? You know what I
exactly,
mean?
I definitely agree with that. Introverts, thanks so much for the follow, man. You followed me while I was going through some technical difficulties, but thanks so much for the follow. Much love, much love.
But yeah, that I think that's a really important point that Stu brought up. What else is there other than money? I just came out of a relationship where I was love bombed, and what was presented to me is not what it was. And at the in the end of the relationship, when I stopped being soft, when I stopped being supportive and all those things, I had to let him know. I said, "You want to be treated like the man you pretended to be." But no, it doesn't work that way. You changed, or you didn't change who you were the whole time, but the mask came off.
Hmm.
So when the money goes away, what else do you have? Do we have a solid relationship? Like, are we friends? Can we laugh at the same things? Do you like video games? Because I will forever be a nerd. Like, I've been playing video games since Atari. So that's in my DNA. I'm a millennial.
Atari, damn, no plan. Go ahead.
No, like, oh, mental health check-in, we're gonna check in. We gotta check in from T. Mentally, I'm better. This week was a blur, but I have the most amazing support system. Please preach. It is so important to have, and I know Stu's channel is probably like, okay, we're talking about two different things here.
No, no, I'm
I
with it.
did a
I
mental
love. I'm all for the mental. Go do that.
yeah, I did a mental health check-in and just asked people how they're doing. And T brought up a great point. The support system, the support system, the support system. If
That's
we were
yours.
designed to do this on our own, then we would be alone, like, there wouldn't be
It'll be one
people.
person on the earth at a time. Like
Exactly.
because and that exactly builds what I think the whole point of this convo, right? Is like 50-50 should not be in terms of money.
Right.
It should be in terms of, are you going to help me move in this life together? Like if I'm with you, are you helping me carry 50% of the weight of life? Not just
Right.
financially, but just like, can I come to you, like let's friends, I can only talk about from the man's perspective, right? As a
Mhm.
man, life beats me down hard. Can I come to you as my woman and just unload? Not sexually, not physically, not like that. But I just want to tell you about my day. I want to tell you how weak I feel. I want to tell you how I'm not the Superman that you put me on a pedestal to be. I actually had a girl tell me that I dated. She saw me as Superman, but then she stopped seeing me as Superman, and that's when the problem started. Well, I'm not
Mm.
Superman. I'm just a man. And so, can I come to you when I'm not when I'm just Clark Kent? I'm just Clark I'm the nigga with glasses. Can I come to you as Clark Kent and you still love me like I'm Superman? That's what I want, right? That's what I think a lot of men want. I've heard that from a lot. Can I come to you in my weak moments, my vulnerable moments, and you don't think of me as, oh, this nigga crying. He's too sensitive, whatever case may be. Because one thing about it is I'm only gonna be weak or sad for just for a moment. I just need that quick moment. After that, I'm good. And I think a lot of people don't understand, at least from the man's perspective. I'm speaking 100% from the man's perspective here. If you allow a
Now
man to just break down to you without any repercussions, you ain't going texting your homegirls in the group chat about it, you ain't doing none of that, and you allow him to just do that, when he does bounce back, you don't know what you now mean to him. It is ridiculous what you mean to him now.
so I wanna generalize just a little bit, and I
Mhm,
apologize if this is not any man that's listening experience, but from what I've seen, most men lead with the masculinity,
mhm,
the toxic masculinity, and not for the sake of being toxic, it's because that's what they were taught growing up,
mhm,
and that's something I am very intentional about when it comes to my son. I am very intentional with validating his feelings, allowing him to express himself, letting him know that it's okay to be upset, to be let down, like all of these things, because society has pushed on our men that you guys have to be strong. You got to be the man. You got to be da 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 da. And there is no safe space for men, especially black men. And I don't agree with that because what you have is these little bombs with all of this emotion packed inside, and everything has a capacity.
Mhm.
And when you stuff too much in that capacity, eventually the man explodes and breaks down. And I think that's a huge contributing factor of why I got divorced. My ex-husband, I used to tell him all the time, like, "You know you're human, right? Like, you know that you can be hurt." And he would always say, "No, I'm Superman. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good."
Right, right.
And I eventually started drinking that Kool-Aid and thinking, "No, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it," to where I stopped being that partner that allowed him to unload on me and expecting him to just deal. A perfect example is when my mom died. When my mom died, I was just like, "All right, she did. She's not coming back. We gotta move on." But it really hit him hard, and I never gave him that safe space to really grieve her in the way that he needed. And I saw what that did in retrospect, obviously. So I'm saying this, guys, when y'all are dating, when you find a woman, lead with where you are mentally and emotionally so that she has a good understanding of how to be there for you and who you are. Because if you come into it with all of the answers and everything is solved and this, and that, the minute you need her to humanize you and provide that space for you, she's going to look at you like you crazy because she only knows one version of you.
Mhm, mhm.
So start off on the right foot being an actual human, experiencing actual emotions so that when you need so you know early if she's that safe space for you, and then when you need it, she can be there for you.
Exactly. And that was the same thing for me kinda in reverse, right, with my ex, like, when we were dating well, we met in high school, so this is a long, long, long relationship. So we met in high school, and even in high school, I was a jock on the football team, I was popular in school, and so I never really I mean, of course, I was a facade, let's just be honest, it was just a facade. Anybody who is super popular in high school will tell you that was a damn facade. Being popular in high school don't mean shit. It's just a facade. But yeah, like of course she didn't know that we're young and we're dumb. She drank that cool. Oh, Stu's so cool. I'm with a cool guy, whatever. So then we went our separate ways. When I was in college, she's still in high school. She was graduated a year after me. And so then when we got back together and it was like 2018 we got back together or 2017. Well now we're adults and she got a daughter. So things are a little bit different now. We're a little bit more grown. Um, I had a job, I was working, things like that. But even still, I was still there. I showed up for her daughter. I would buy her daughter toys and stuff. If she needed something financially, I was there to help out. I was coming to see her every other weekend, and I never really made money an issue. Little does she know I was pinching pennies to make that shit happen. I
Mm.
was man, I would there would be meals I would not miss. The only time I would eat when I got my free meal at work. Like I was doing shit to make sure her and that baby had something. And it's sidebar, it's not my child. Sidebar, that is not my sperm. That is not my DNA. But I still did that. That's the type of man I am. If I'm with a woman, I'm gonna take care of you, which is another reason why I had to lay off of relationships myself because I know I'm that type of lover and I just financially can't afford that right now. And I can't afford to do that because that's gonna put me in a hole because that's what ended up happening. She got used to that, which is fine. I want her to get used to that. I couldn't sustain it. COVID happened. I lost my car. I lost a lot of family members. I lost my job. And it was still cool for a little bit because shout out Donald Trump and the money coming in, all the extra money. So it was still cool then. But when that stopped and I still didn't have a job at that point, okay, now the money's gone, right? And I can't come to see you as much as I used to. I can't take you on dates like I could used to. I can't, buy presents and stuff for the kids like I used to. Okay. Now, not because I don't want to, but because I just can't. It's just gone. I literally don't have the resources I did before. And so for her, she started to drink a whole I started to hear her say more and more and more. Well, if you wanted to, you would, you know, and
Oh, wow.
that became a thing over and I got so sick of that saying. Like, and so I started hearing it everywhere. If a man really wants to, he would. I absolutely despise that sentence or that phrase because there are a lot of times when I did want to. I loved her, I loved her daughter, and I did want to. I just couldn't. I just couldn't because like any if I did choose, I'm taking food out of my own house, out of my own everything, which I did for a long time, just for her to be happy. And then which once again, the type of lover I am, I still would have done it, even though it's food on my own belly. But then on top of that, now you're starting to disrespect me. Okay. And this is for me, it's like you're starting to disrespect me. You're starting to have snide remarks. You're starting to do different things. And so now it's like, well, why am I gonna go out my way, give you my last for you to not even have my back?
So let
So
me
yeah.
ask you, Stu,
Mhm.
did you come into it explaining all of this, like, with your f
And like I said,
okay,
we were high school sweethearts. We met in high school, so that was just like,
oh,
we
okay,
don't know shit
okay.
about love. I mean,
Yeah,
so like so when I got back with her in 2018, it was more like trying to rekindle what we had in high school. That's all that was, right?
okay.
Just trying to get that thing back. We never really had a conversation of, and I think this is where we went wrong. We never had a conversation of what happened in the years from when we messed up or broke up the first time, right?
Mhm.
She would tell you we never broke up, but whatever. When we broke up the first time, because obviously things are different. You have a baby now. You're 3 years older. So in 3 years, you've had a baby. You're a totally different person. I never got the time to learn the new version of her. And I think that is very important to always learn and be willing to grow with your partner. That's another thing of being part of about another part of the 50-50 that people don't realize. Just because it's great at the beginning of a relationship does not mean it's going to be great at the end. You have to always constantly be learning your partner. Be
That is
willing to
so
always love
true.
because the phase of your partner that you met is not the phase, like you said with your husband, y'all had kids together. Okay, that's great.
Mhm.
The phase your husband or ex-husband before that child is a totally different man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you have to relearn that version. Something I've learned, I've been doing a lot of statistics and stuff and reading up on statistics. A lot of people get divorced after the kids leave the house. And that the
Mm,
reason why is because they learned to love each other while the kids was there. But once the kids out the picture, they
right,
don't know each other no more. That's a totally different
right.
person. They don't.
That's why it's important when you're in a relationship to continue to date each other. Do not allow
Mhm.
the kids to stop you from dating
Mhm.
because you're growing every single day. You're changing every single day. And if you make everything about the kids, you miss those micro changes that your
For
partner
sure.
goes through.
For sure.
So
That
when there
is
are no kids to fill the space with noise and attention, you're left with this person that you don't even know. And that's the crazy part. I got something in the chat here, and I appreciate y'all, all of y'all stopping in. T says, I watched my mom do everything on her own up until middle school and she remarried. I've never seen them do 50-50. My bonus dad has always made sure not even just her, but made sure me and my sister were good. My mom has always made a safe space for him physically, mentally, and spiritually. I know that that's right. Watching her do it all on her own and then go into really not having to lift a finger or pay for anything, it made me open up to the 50-50 aspect because but also not against my significant other going full throttle. Exactly. If you better believe that if my man is the one who's out there working to take care of us, I am going to be taking care of him to the highest degree. And I was just telling somebody this earlier today. I'm very domesticated. I love to cook, I sew, I clean, I do massages, I do therapy sessions. I will be everything that he needs. I will be his literal fuel so that he can continue to do the things that makes him happy. I don't want a man taking care of me because he feels like he has to. Da, 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 da. No, I want it to be his delight. I want him to delight in taking care of me, delight in seeing my face when he gives me things or when he pays attention to the fact that I changed my hair. Now, it's not just gifts, but I also delight in taking care of my partner. Like, I want to see my partner smile. I want to buy them things. I want to spoil them in every way imaginable. And that is how that 50-50 works. You may do 100% of the going to work, but I do 100% of taking care of the house. You know what I mean?
and that's
Right.
50-50
Keys.
to a goddamn T. Because look, that right there is the perfection of what and at least to me. of what a woman should be. And I know that I should probably shouldn't say that. I'm probably gonna get catch hell or whatever. But I'm just like, yeah, that right there, if a woman like that makes a man want to go to work, he gets excited, not because he's trying to get away from her, because he's like, man, let me go ahead and get some extra money. I'm gonna work a couple extra hours because I want to buy
Right.
her some shit. I want to, you know what? I want to go take Bay on a date. Why? Not because I'm trying to make up for something, because like it makes you want to do stuff. Like when you have that type of full panda, huh? Yeah, panda, we talking about women. You feel me? We talking about 50-50 relationship, panda. Yeah, it makes you want to do stuff. Like all I can think of is that song from Mulan, a girl we're fighting for. It really, really is that simple. I see stuff on Twitter all the time talking about where have the men gone that like for the 90s music, or where's the men that cry on their knees begging it. You know where they at?
They're in their 50s.
They're in their
Get
50s. It's
old
crazy.
niggas.
You know, it's just like, okay, people my age, you're 20, 25, 30, something like that. The reason why we don't do that no more is because we haven't seen the value of women to fall for, to fight for,
But
like you. Now I'm just saying,
where are
now
you
the second
looking?
that is
Where
true.
are we
I was
looking
just
for
about to
these
say that.
quality women?
I was just about to say that. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where to look. I done found a whole bunch on Twitch. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm going on Twitch. I have now making my declaration. I am looking for my wife on Twitch. Okay. So if y'all single on Twitch, hit me up. Big Stu Gaming. You feel me? Because
I
I'm
know
looking
that's
for my wife
right.
on Twitch. Because outside ain't for me. Babe, come get me. I'm scared out here. Okay? Like it's ghetto out here. Where's my video? Panda, I don't got a shirt on, and Chris don't got her video on, so I ain't putting mine on. You feel me? And we on Twitter, so I ain't trying to have my titties all out on Twitter. You feel me? So
No, 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 you good.
no, it's
Yeah, and I
definitely
can't and before y'all get on my ass, I know how y'all like to do. I lost the cord to my camera somehow. Don't know where it is. So I couldn't turn my cam on if I wanted to.
it'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
But I'm so glad you said that, like, looking for a quality partner. Y Imma tell y'all this, right? And I'm saying it from a place of love.
I blame
Would
Stewie.
you
What?
want to date you? Are you that quality partner that you long for? And it's
That's
like, "Oh,
good.
yeah, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
willing to do this, I'm willing to do that." Yeah, but have you addressed your childhood trauma?
Mm.
What is your relationship like with your parents? What examples of a healthy relationship did you have growing up? Do you have a growth mindset? How do you invest in your mental health, your physical health, your emotional wellness? How do you handle conflict? All of these things you have to be aware of regarding yourself so that you can address them, so that you can be the quality partner of what you seek, because the type of fish you catch depends on the bait that you use.
100%. And I'm gonna tell this to have a little story time here a little bit, because that's another reason why me and my ex we started to have a divide. Right, there was a moment there where I did propose to her. Well, so we were, fiance. She's my fiance for a little bit. And then after a while, I had a conversation with my grandfather. My grandmother and grandfather were married for 72 years up until she died. You don't see that no more.
Wow.
72
Yeah.
years. So when I think of love, I think of that. Like that's working together. And so I would talk to him. I was like, "Oh, Grandpa, I think I found the one." Blah blah blah. And so he would talk to me. He said, so he told me, "Son, is she the one?" And I said, "Yeah, I think she is." He said, "Well, first and foremost, you messed up because you said think. Second of
Mhm.
all, if she is the one, are you the one for her? Are you gonna be a good husband for her? Because she may be a good wife, but are you a good husband? It has to go both ways, otherwise it won't work." And so when he told me that, I started looking at myself, and I feel like everybody needs to do this. Start looking at myself, and I said, "You know what?" And I told her this: "I'm not ready to be a husband yet." Right? I think a lot of
Mhm.
people are looking for marriage just to knock it off their bucket list. "Oh, I got married. Cool,
Right,
I'm
'cause it's
good."
the right thing to
It's the right
do.
thing to do. And instead
Right.
of just, I don't want to be like, "Oh, I got married." I wanna be a husband. And so what a husband entails certain qualities that at that point in time I did not have. So if I were to get married, it would have just been it would just been bad, and then if you think about it, what if we'd have brought a child into the place? I wasn't ready for a child. So it's just like
Yeah.
you have to be honest with yourself, and I was very honest with myself. I said, "You know what? I'm not ready for that." Even though I was the one who proposed. I was the one who got the ring and proposed and everything. I had to think about it and I was like, this was just it was kind of puppy love. I was in the moment. Oh, we got history, we've known each other for years, blah, blah, blah. But we never really had problems, never had issues. We never had to, there was no fire to strengthen our love or strengthen our relationship or resolve. And so we never, because we ain't never been through nothing, we ain't know nothing. And it wasn't until I started
Mm,
asking questions, okay, how are you when your back's against the wall? How am I when my back's against the wall? You need to
mhm.
know who you're dealing with because a marriage is a partnership. I take marriage very seriously. Like I said, I've seen a 72-year marriage. So I'm sorry, there's a very high standard that I hold marriage to.
Yeah, and it should be. It's
So
nothing
yeah.
it's a lifetime commitment.
And so because of that, and like I said, that whole marriage thing, 'cause I could be married right now to her, and then dealing with whatever the hell the backlash would have been. But I told her, I'm not ready just yet. I still love you. I still want to marry, you, but I think I gotta get myself together. That's what I told her. I need to get myself together. Let me start making some more money. Let me lose some weight. Let me get my mind right. Let me go to church more.
Yeah,
Let
come
me get
on now,
right.
come on,
And
church.
so and so, but all she heard was, I don't want to marry you. I'm giving
Ooh,
you excuses.
do you take rejection well, right? That's a whole 'nother thing.
And
She
so
wasn't taking that she was taking that as rejection, not as self-reflection.
exactly. She was taking that as, as a rejection. And so
Right.
to me, I wasn't saying I don't want to marry you ever. I was just saying that right now, you know? So it sounds like you didn't have issues because I've seen you hold in things. It bothers you because of the loss of a friendship matters. It does. It does. Loss of a friendship definitely does matter. It definitely does. But yeah, that's really where it started. Cause I told myself, I was like, I'm just not ready yet. And it's not like I still want you, but that title is such a heavy title to me. I'm not ready for that title. And I know if I got married, God would not condone this union because it's
Ooh, that
not.
conviction.
And so, which means if we got married, it would not be ordained by God, which means it wouldn't work good in the first place
Right,
because I wasn't ready
exactly.
yet. So
That's my last relationship. We tried to get married so many times, and every single time something came got in the way. We tried to do so many things to, like, unite our lives. Like, when we tried to get our insurance policies for each other, there was some issues with the paperwork when we tried to buy this house. He couldn't be on the loan for various reasons. Like, it was so many things that were happening, and I had to just accept, like, "Girl, God is really trying to say hello."
yeah, he trying to
No.
stop you, like, stop
He's
right
trying to
now.
save me, and I'm like, "No, but I love him." But I do wanna circle back really quickly to, the question of would you date yourself? And I challenge everybody, if you were willing to date yourself, then be alone for the next 3 months. Because if you are willing to date yourself, you're willing to be alone with yourself. And if you find that the silence is too loud when you're by yourself, you long for someone else, you long for the validation of someone else, then you may need to rethink whether or not you would date yourself. Because if you can't stand to be alone with you, how will someone else be able to be alone with you?
And I heard a quote, and I've been hearing a whole lot of stuff since said person is no longer in my life, and I've been reading a lot more, doing a lot more. Just like I said, just working on me. And something I heard that is too profound is do you really love that person or are you just used to them? And
Mm.
I said, man, hold on, cause I think that's what it was. And 'cause I was telling you before we got on here, I think I was just used to her. I was used to even the toxic stuff, and I think that's a lot of things. Oh, that answered my question of why I had a whole lot of homegirls who would go back to the nigga that they was complaining to me about. So
Right,
he did this, so he cheated, so he beat me, and I'm like, then why are you going back? It doesn't make sense until I went through it myself with my own my own toxicness. And I said, and I had to realize I was just used to it. I figured it
right.
was just part of the love story in a way, like,
Exactly.
and that's not it.
No,
So
it's not.
a lot of times people we get so accustomed to stuff, just like for the longest time. My schedule when I didn't have a job was wake up, sometimes shower, sometimes not. We ain't gonna talk about that. And get some food
Hey,
and
we're
go
honest.
live.
Yeah.
And I will be staying on live for 10, 12, 14 hours until I'm hungry. I'll make some food, come back live, and then after I'm done going live for the day, I will turn on a movie, or I will talk to her on the phone for a couple of hours and go to sleep. And I woke up and repeat it all over again. That was my thing, right? And it was like that for years. But you see how she was in that schedule daily.
Yeah.
So when you remove somebody who's part of your schedule, no matter how big the role is, now you have a void, a literal time void
Mhm.
of an hour, 2 hours, whatever that time was, where that person is no longer there. And you're going to attach that time void to that person. And it makes you feel like you miss that person when
Right.
actuality, you just need to find something else to fill that time void.
Exactly. It just you know how people say what love will make you do strange things. There is something that is more toxic than love, and it's familiarity.
Mm,
That familiar feeling. Y'all ever see people in relationships and you can like clearly see that they don't love each other, but they're still in it? It's it's familiar to them. It's something that they know. Being single or being away from that person, even though they would probably enjoy the peace if they allowed themselves, it's unfamiliar. People don't want to walk down that path of something that they've not experienced. Well, at least I know what Imma get. But, like, that's so miserable. You're gonna stay with a person just because you're familiar or because they're familiar. That's not what life is about, and life is too short.
mm,
It is too short to spend it just what's the word I'm looking for? Just content.
right.
Contentment is not enough. Happiness is achievable if you're willing to be honest with yourself, if you're willing to be disciplined in your love, if you're willing to limit the access that people have to you. And that's something I struggle with. I give so many people way too much access to me. And it's because I'm a lover. I love
Uh,
people, but
Facts.
my heart broken by people, whether platonically or romantically.
No, that is so true. And I man, look, and I everybody know my boy Jay. It took Jay to talk to me and say, because there would be times where I realized I kind of have an obsessive personality a little bit, right? And it's because I'm a lover and I just like to like things I like, I just want more of it and more of it and more of it. It could be
Right.
food, it could be a person, it can be a book, it can be a game. Like so I've noticed that about myself is that I kind of have an obsessive personality, which is good and bad. I'm not crazy enough to where I've gone and did some crazy shit like that movie. I ain't did that yet. And I pray God I never get to that point. But I know I caught myself now to know, okay, that's why I get very good at certain things. The reason why I'm loving this podcast and like I put up a lot of different stuff, have a lot of different episodes in a couple of weeks. And like my brother was commending me on that, like, bro, you did this so fast. How'd you do it? I obsessed over it. I looked
Yeah,
up
same.
everything about the podcast. I looked up what was a good platform. Stuart, you got so good at football on such short amount of time. You mess up. How'd you do it? I obsessed over it. It was in my brain 24/7. Stuart, you were a great lover. How'd you do it? I obsessed over it. And so that's my thing. That's my flaw. Is like once I love it, like for instance, I was terrible at Warzone when I first started. How did I get good to where I'm the point I am now? I obsessed over it. I started watching all the streamers and doing all this stuff. Like I became a student of that game. I
That's my
said,
toxic trait too. I obsess over things. That's why I
right,
don't do hardcore drugs, 'cause I know me. I would be so
exactly.
addicted. I would be strung out somewhere.
Exactly. Right now, my hardcore drug is carbs, man. If I can find a
Oh,
way,
yeah,
my carbs,
carbs.
man. So that's been I'm a savory fat. I've said it multiple times. I'm a savory fat. I'm not like people. I think a lot of people think all fat people love sweets. Not really. I'm not even a big sweet person.
No,
You,
carbs listen, carbs are from the devil. I
I'm
don't
trying to
care.
tell you,
I
man.
love bread. Oh my god, I
Like
love bread. We
a
go together
cake
real
and cookies
bad.
and cupcakes they are safe around me, but your bowl of mac and cheese, that shit ain't safe. Yo,
Oh, don't even.
spaghetti, that shit ain't safe.
Ugh, spaghetti sounds really good right now.
But yeah, so I set out to say that, like, I think when it comes to relationships, man, and 50-50, I think the whole point of the reason why it's a problem for a lot of people is a lot of people are hurt, and the truth of the matter is they don't wanna face the truth is they're scared that they're if they go 100% in any facet, they won't get 100% back. And
Mm.
so that's why nobody wants to ever do 50-50 or 100-100 whatever, because they feel like they're gonna go 50 and the other person gonna go 25, and then you can't even get 100% combined. The
Yeah, that's
point
not cool.
so the point of today, I think me and Chrissy said it, is alignment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, alignment. I got something in the chat real quick, Stu.
Mhm, mhm.
After the last relationship in 2022, I had to do some serious self-work, even had to allow Mari to go with his dad for a year. At this moment in my life, I would definitely date me or want to be with me. I love that. I enjoy sitting by myself or being by myself. Granted, having a person is great, of course, but I'm also alone with sitting and being alone, and that is so important. That's so important because that's how you can really gauge where you are. If you can't be alone with you, child,
Man,
then you
for
just
real.
got some work to do.
100%. And I've actually started thinking about that myself, right? I've gotten to the point because after, the after I told you I finally officially cut her off. And I told you the first couple of nights was hard. The first couple because that nightly schedule, right? And I had to realize it was hard for me to just sit there and just like I can't always watch anime. I can't always game. Shit, I can't always jack off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, there's going to be a cutoff where you just got to sit there in your own shit. Yes, Stuart, this is you. Now, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
This is you. And I think that's why I've been telling people self love is the hardest thing you will ever do on this planet Earth. It is
yeah,
loving yourself. What the hell did I just say? Loving yourself is the hardest thing you ever do, especially if you're a natural giver. I think some
yeah,
people it's easier because they've always been like a taker. They've always thought about themselves. I've never in my life been that type of person. I'm always a giver. Like I just told you about the relationship I was in where I was giving her my last willingly without even second guessing it. It wasn't even a thought. Like there was no thought process at all. I just did it. And so when I was that much of a giver, now learning how to be a giver to myself and how to take care of myself is really hard. It really is really hard. Luckily, I got a lot of great friends around me to where when I do want to start doing stuff with other people, they catch me. No, Stuart. Nope, I'm good. Nope, you gonna sit your ass there. You need that for you.
yes,
You
that's
need
that
that for
support
you. And
system.
that's where the support system come in. So shout out Vibes and Lady, you all my people
Mhm.
on Twitch, because y'all will catch me when I'm trying to be so you might say love bombing or I'm trying to do something. Nope, take that ass back. You need to put that to yourself. Put it because it's hard for me to like and I mean I can say I got it from my mom. I've seen my mom do it too. She always took care of everybody except for herself. But yeah, you need to realize, like you said, be able to sit with yourself. So now, like I said, it's been over a month since I finally cut her off, and so I'm now at the point to where I can look at myself in the mirror, and I can be okay with it. Right now, of course, I don't like the way I look. 'Cause I'm trying to get rid of the titties and shit. But overall, I can sit with myself and say, you know what, Stuart, you are doing a good fucking job. You're not where you want to be, but you, goddamn it, you're doing a good job,
I
and
think
you
that's
got
a
to
good
say that to
word to leave
yourself.
everybody with. Be kind to yourself.
Mhm.
You doing the best you can out here. We all are. Be kind to yourself. You'll get there. You just gotta keep pushing. As long as you keep pushing every day, you will get closer to your goal. But don't allow not being where you want to be to discount everything that you've already done.
100%. So I think that overall, is we're talking about alignment with yourself, alignment with your partner, and just alignment with just God. If you do all those three of those things, you can be a much happier person overall. And I think that was a great conversation that we love to have here on the Cool Down Den. So we'll be live tomorrow at our normally scheduled time. Today was not normal. Today was just a pop up. But I'll be live tomorrow. We're talking about dating while broke tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow 2 p.m. right here on the stream, twitch.tv/Big Bixby Game. We're talking about dating while broke. We got four beautiful, awesome guests, and we talking about it. We got 2 men, 2 women, and what is it like to date while broke? So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all next time on a Cool Down Den.